and welcome to Tome of Uselessness. I'm Devin.
I'm Dan.
And today we're talking about John Wick.
Did you have like a different idea when you started and then you're like, now I'm in the middle of this, I just gotta keep going?
I don't know what I was doing. It's good though, we'll keep it.
Well, yeah. John Wick, as
John
Devin
Wick.
said.
1, 2, and 3.
The franchise.
The trilogy.
Yeah, but I assume there's things we like as well.
Oh yeah.
Beforehand.
Did you like anything this week?
Sure, I'll go first. Yeah, I got some stuff here.
You have notes. I'll try to think of stuff.
All right. Well, I kind of got sucked into, kind of interrupted my other TV watching into Legend of the Galactic Heroes, the old series. It's amazing. I watched just season 1 and 2 and kind of had to cut myself off because that's about 52 or so episodes in, but there's like 138 episodes or so, something along those lines. It's still amazing. It's politics and war and galactic spanning schemes and everything. If you've never seen it, highly recommend. It's amazing.
Cool.
Check that out. I also read, it's called Mindfuck, or, F asterisk C-U-K.
Why don't people just use the letter U?
I guess maybe publishing reasons. I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, but that was written by Christopher Wiley, and he was the guy who helped create Cambridge Analytica, which was that firm that got essentially weaponized propaganda against people through Facebook and other media and stuff like that. It was good and interesting, but I was hoping for a little more in-depth, but I think it was kind of like autobiographical, because like he was just writing about like what he did, so there was not like that Bad Blood where it was like outside investigation and there was like, here's all these facts, right?
Yeah.
So it was still pretty interesting and still kind of just like, dude, I was totally up with the guy because he was one of the whistleblowers and blah, 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 until at the end he was complaining about how he got banned from Facebook products and stuff like that. And I was like, so what, guy? Your life is way better now. Like, but anyway, that's a personal note.
Okay,
it's fine.
That's
but,
fair. Yeah.
It was still quite interesting and pretty messed up. Like, it feels like it should have been a bigger scandal than it was, but it just kind of got lumped into scandals of 2019. Like, how it all just
all the Trump stuff.
Yeah, it all just kind of got blurred in together because it was messed up.
The whole year was messed up.
Yeah. I read a Star Trek book called Romulan Stratagem, something along those lines anyway. Just because I felt like it was kind of interesting. Just some Romulan plot, Picard and some Romulans, and
cool.
And having to do some speeches and stuff like that.
Nice.
It was good stuff. I've never really read any Star Trek books, at least none of the next gen books. I've read a few like original crew books, like Kirk and them, and there were some good ones there. And then, so I read House of X and Powers of X, which was last year's X-Men comics.
Oh, okay.
And I don't have my notes here, but I think it's Jonathan Hickman's the writer, and I can't remember the artist off the top of my head. It was amazing. I don't read a lot of X-Men comics, tertially aware of the X-Men, of course, but this was like
Wolverine.
Then Wolverine, of course.
And the rest.
But it was kind of like, it was like a reimagining almost kind of thing, and it was awesome. It was so good. Like, I had heard it was good just from, podcasts and other stuff, and I can't believe like how good it was, essentially.
Oh, cool.
It was so amazing, and just the idea is basically Moira McTaggart is a mutant, and her power is reincarnation.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me this off air.
And then so every time she dies, she reincarnates, and then so she learns she's a mutant in like one of her lives, she tries to figure it out, and accidentally develops the mutant cure, and then Mystique and Destiny threaten her, and basically say like, if you do this again, we'll just kill you. And she's like, I think you're only going to live 10, 11 times, so maybe be careful about that. And so she teams up with Magneto in one of her lives. She teams up with Apocalypse. She teams up with Xavier to basically try to create a future for mutants. And it never works. And so it's just her going through her lives until basically the events of this comic run, where it's like her 9th or 10th life or something along those lines, and she's trying something different. It was amazing. Highly recommend. It was super cool. It's in a big book. I'm sure you can find it, and that's how I've been reading it. And that was amazing. And then I've also been reading, because I don't know when we're going to release this, but the Harley Quinn movie may or may not be out yet already.
Oh, yeah.
Birds of Prey.
Comes out February 7th.
Something along those lines, yes. And
I just saw an ad for it.
there you go. And so I've been reading Birds of Prey, the comic.
Yeah.
And I'm about 50 issues into a run of about 130 something. Because I had no idea. I was like, who are the birds of prey?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But the comic was really Oracle and Black Canary.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of the other, like, Nightwing or Robin show up occasionally and stuff like that. But it's both about them, and Power Girl shows up as well. Harley Quinn's only been in, like, one of them.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it's fine. But it's been pretty cool.
I really don't understand why they didn't just make the Gotham Sirens.
Yeah. Well, maybe, again, that could be a next step after this.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know who Black Canary was. So it was cool. It's got some good stuff. It is hilarious because, big comic publishers like that, Marvel is also highly guilty of it, where it's like, there'll be, it's like an issue that ties into some other bigger story thing. And then so I'll be reading it and it was like, I was like, wait, what's going on? And then it's just like, find out in, Batman 56 or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not reading that.
No.
Yeah. So it's just, stuff like that has occurred. But, yeah, it's pretty good. Oracle's really cool, of course, because it's Barbara Gordon.
Yeah.
After she gets paralyzed and she's all hacking and badass and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's good stuff.
Cool. That's been the Killing Joke? Is that
Killing Joke,
yeah.
Is when she gets shot. Yeah.
Cool. Well.
That's about it, yeah. Sorry.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. I watched the entire season 3 of Sabrina.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Which was really cool because season 1 is about her deciding whether she wants to be human or a witch. And she ends up deciding she wants to be both.
Sure.
Because she has a human parent and a witch parent.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Season 2, she finds out that her actual father isn't a witch. It's Satan.
What a twist. Yeah.
And she's trying to decide... She basically is trying to decide how to... Like, whether or not she should rule hell and how to stop Satan from making her become...
Hell's ruler?
Hell's ruler. The Queen of Hell, right?
Right. Interesting.
It's really cool, right?
Okay.
Season 3... So they trap Satan at season 2.
Right.
In the end of season 2, in her boyfriend, which Lilith becomes Queen of Hell and takes her boyfriend into hell because that's the only safe place to store Satan.
Sure.
Season 3 is about everything being out of balance, basically, and she has to become a Queen of Hell, and so it's kind of the trials for her to become the Queen of Hell.
Okay, yeah.
But also, because everything's out of balance, old gods start showing up. So, like, a bunch of pagan gods show up.
Right.
And, yeah, it's really good.
Does this show... Sorry to kind of interrupt your train of thought here, but does this still occur in, like, a suburban town?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
But her friends all know she's a witch, so there's none of that, like, stupid double life bullshit, right? And she also is a cheerleader in this one, which is funny.
Nice.
It was like... Yeah.
Because Sabrina, of course, was like, she lives with like Archie and them, like originally.
Yeah,
of course,
she lives in Greendale and they live in Riverdale.
Right.
So they've gone to Riverdale a couple times, but there hasn't been like a crossover
type stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was just curious because I was like, is she just like in hell all the time? And then she's like, it's like, you gotta rule hell. And she's like, no, I don't want to rule hell.
No, she does it like after school and on weekends.
Right, yeah, that's what so she's like a high school student.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like the end of the 3rd season is kind of setting it up that basically Cthulhu's coming to town in season 4.
Because the old gods.
Yeah. Nice. So I'm like pretty stoked on that.
And that's on Netflix, right?
On the Netflix. It's a Netflix show. And it's got a really good cast. It's got like Miranda Otto, who played Éowyn in Lord of the Rings, is one of the aunts. Lucy Davis is the other aunt. She was she's in Shaun of the Dead. She was in Wonder Woman as the secretary.
Right.
Yeah. It was cool.
Cool.
I like it. It's a
nice.
good show. And then I haven't really consumed much other media because I've been like cleaning my office out and I've been cleaning out our storage area. So I've just been listening to 80s dark wave and 80s new wave on Spotify. And I found out that I like, what's his name? Elvis Costello.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's it. That's all. So. Cool. Sabrina good, Elvis Costello good.
Controversial opinions.
Yeah. No! So now let us talk about John Wick.
Yeah.
Can I start off by saying it took me a long time to watch the first one?
Yeah, I didn't see it in theater either. I remember I had a chance to. I think I've had a chance to see all three of these in theater and never.
Yeah.
And I also was very late to the John Wick train. I didn't think I saw the first movie until the second one was out.
I don't think I saw the first one until the third one was out.
Oh, really? Wow.
And part of the reason I watched it is because Angelica Houston's in the third one, and I really like her, so I was like, oh, I want to see her in an action movie.
Right.
But I was really under the impression that John Wick was this, tiny little budget movie that was, super indie and had no stars in it except for Keanu Reeves because somebody, asked him a favor to be in it.
Yeah.
And I was totally wrong. I don't know where I got that storyline from.
You were sort of correct for the first one.
Yeah.
In that way.
But, it had some stars in it.
Oh, no, the cast is very much a star-studded.
Yeah.
I just mean budget-wise. The first one was made on a $20 million budget.
Yeah, I was, under the impression that it was, 2 steps away from somebody's camcorder in their kitchen, just watching Keanu Reeves do fight scenes.
No, well, so going to the first one from 2014, directed by Chad Stahelski and David Leitch, although he's not credited as director because it's a Directors Guild thing, but he basically
directed it.
He co-directed it with it, and it was written by Derek Kolstad. And as I said, the budget was only $20 million, and they brought in $86 million in the box. So a solid hit, but not gangbuster numbers, but it was hey, it's 4 times your budget.
Yeah,
so.
And I feel I have not heard anybody say anything negative about John Wick.
I don't think so either. Yeah. I mean, there's very little to complain about in that first movie. But yeah, the basic plot is Keanu Reeves is an ex-hitman.
World's best assassin.
He's the boogeyman. He's Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
And he's out. His wife dies from illness. She sends him a dog from beyond the grave.
Yeah.
And then Yosef, played by Alfie Allen.
Who is Theon Greyjoy.
Theon Greyjoy, yes, of course. They see his car. He's got a nice 69 Mustang. They want to steal his car. They steal his car, kill his dog, and then John Wick... Beat him up. And they beat him up. And then John Wick's like, hey, it's time for some revenge.
Yeah.
And then that's the movie.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. But the cast also... So there's also Michael Nyqvist, who plays Viggo Tarasov, which is Alfie Allen's dad. You got Willem Dafoe as Marcus, who is another hitman in the world. Adriana Palicki plays Miss Perkins. You got John Leguizamo, Ian McShane. Who's his name again? Who plays Karen? Comes up. Lance Reddick, because I like that he's in The Wire. He's a good actor. Cool. He plays Karen or Sharon, I think they call it in third movie. He's the concierge.
Oh, okay, cool.
The Continental. Yeah. I don't know. I got some notes about the first movie, of course.
I really liked it. It wasn't what I was expecting, and I didn't go on my phone the entire time.
No, there you go. But I think it's interesting, maybe before we get totally into everything, but it's so the director is a stuntman from The Matrix.
Yes.
Right?
And that's how he knows Keanu.
That's how he knows Keanu Reeves, and so it was kind of
Do you know they're making a Matrix 4?
Yes, I just found that out.
Why would they do that?
I have no idea.
Isn't everyone dead?
Yes. Sort of. I mean, Keanu Reeves is...
Oh, yeah, he's Jesus.
He's Jesus. So they could bring him back.
He's Techno-Jesus.
He's Techno-Jesus, yeah. But... so, yeah, he knows him from The Matrix. And, in fact, Daniel Bernhardt, who he shows up in a Red Letter Media Best of the Worst episode movie called Future War. Mm-hmm. He is a stuntman from The Matrix. And then he's the stuntman in this movie.
Oh, cool.
He's one of the final bodyguards that he kills
nice.
in the movie, which I thought was hilarious. But my point was going to be, obviously, they have a good relationship then, obviously, if they were stuntmen, because Keanu Reeves, of course, famously was really good to his stunt people and took a pay cut when they made Matrix 2 and 3 to ensure that his people got paid and stuff like that, right? Yeah. So
Keanu Reeves just seems like a good dude.
He definitely is. He's got a reputation, and I think it's well deserved. I just thought that was really kind of.
Do you know that he owns his own motorcycle company?
I did know that. Yes.
I think they use his motorcycles in John Wick 3.
No, they're Kawasaki's, I think it is, or something like that kind of thing. But it didn't surprise me to see him driving
around and looking cool while doing it.
So, and again, from talking about The Matrix and then talking about John Wick, is that The Matrix was a delineation point between action movies. It changed action movies at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And what people thought actors could do and and how it would be shot and etc. And then John Wick 1 essentially did it again.
Yeah.
And it was the same actor.
Yeah.
Right? Which is crazy that it essentially changed it again. And
Do you remember all the cheesy Matrix like rip-offs in the year 2000?
Of course.
There's so many bad.
Because the Matrix was amazing.
The Matrix was so good, and then there was just all these bad wire-fu.
Yeah.
Like, you know what one of them was? Ultraviolet.
Yeah.
And that's on Netflix now. I'm so tempted to do an episode on it.
Nice. I remember you old Ultraviolet. Yeah.
That was more of like a direct rip-off of Eon Flux.
Well, and it was based off a comic itself, actually, as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But it came out almost like the same month as Eon Flux. Like, it was trying to get that Eon Flux money, right?
Well, it was the same-ish kind of thing, dystopian future, female protagonist.
Yeah.
Fighting back against the system.
Mm-hmm.
That's Eon Flux as well. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Keanu Reeves, of course, famously does, like, almost every stunt he can, essentially. Like, he's definitely one of those guys, unless he's getting slammed into something, that he's the one doing the shooting.
Yeah, so you can get the shot in the wide. You don't have to have, like, weird, like, shaky cam so you can't tell that it's not the actor anymore.
Yeah, and then
a close-up of his face.
Yeah. But yeah, for this movie, I feel like,
It's a very simple, compact, easy to follow story. That's
literally my note, was good, simple motivation. It's like, you
Yeah.
understand, he wants to get the guy, messed him around. All right. And even before he starts, Vigo calls him up and he's like, hey, I'm sorry about my kid being a dick.
Yeah.
Let's just let bygones be bygones kind of thing. I'll make up some reparations to you or something like that. And John's just like, hangs up the phone.
Yeah, he's like, this isn't about reparations.
Yeah.
My dog.
Yeah. And that's, so I don't know if you want to say anything else before like we get into I got the action sequences here. We can just talk about them. But
Sure.
anything else about the movie you want to kind of talk about?
No.
Action sequences it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's what these movies are. They're a vehicle to very cool action sequences.
Well, there's some character stuff there.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Okay, well, the first action sequence is the house when they attack his house at night.
Also, I guess I'd like to, on a side note,
okay.
As a lady that is attracted to men, Keanu Reeves has a very nice back.
Yeah, fair enough. They do show it a few times.
Yeah, in the shower.
In the shower, mostly, when he's getting changed, because he's got a bunch of tattoos.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's basically posited that he's like ex-Marine, I think it is.
Well, maybe?
Well, because like the
I thought he grew up in a Ukrainian ballet school.
So, yeah, but the banner that he's got across Fortune Favors the Bold is a Marine
I
saying,
see.
apparently. So, I don't know. So he's got skills, but anyway, we don't know how good are his skills until he gets attacked.
In the house.
In the house.
And it's cool.
It's very good. It's probably like, it's one of the best action sequences around. Like,
yeah.
Just like every angle he's getting attacked from, every angle he's fighting, on, and his gunplay, of course, is very good. He practices a ton for it.
Totally. Have you seen that YouTube video of him just shooting targets?
Yes.
Yeah.
Many of them.
It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Like I said, he practiced a lot and really changed the action. But it's like, one thing I will say about this movie is, compared to earlier action films, let's say as well, is that he and the bad guys, they miss a lot.
Yeah.
With their guns shooting. It's not just like, one-shot kills everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, he's shooting all over the place and he's running out of ammo and having to reload constantly. Except for a few times when it seems like he shoots like 20 million bullets. But especially in 2 and 3, there's a few scenes like that where I'm like, they haven't reloaded in a while. But it's like, okay, there was a cutaway. Maybe it's assumed they reloaded then.
Yeah, of course they did.
Yeah.
It's a reload cutaway. Is the third one where he has to stab the guy like 27 times?
Yeah. Well, and even just the amount that he shoots people in sometimes where I was like, because in the first one, it's a little more restrained, where he's usually giving people like the double tap, essentially.
Yeah.
He's like shoots them once in the chest or twice in the chest and once in the head, kind of thing, where it's just like, and then other times, he shoots a guy like 20 times, and you're like, I think he's not getting up, guy.
Pretty dead. Yeah.
But yeah, the house action sequence
was great.
Really well shot and really great, and just kind of we got to see his skills, because to that point it was still just building up to that. It was like, you don't understand, John Wick is
bad,
is the man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else? Well, and then at the end, there's like a cop at the door, so it's kind of like there's a moment where it's like,
oh shit,
yeah,
but he knows him. So
yeah,
it's okay. He's got gold. That's fine.
He's just like, you working, John? Nah, just sorting something out. And then the cop goes away. Next action sequence is the Red Circle Club, where Yosef's in the pool down in the basement.
Oh yeah, and that was very stocky-ish. It's kind of stuck in it.
Yeah,
it's good.
Well, and just like when he drowns Buddy in the sink.
Yeah.
Well, and I like that interaction he has with the doorman or the guard outside. Because he knows him, right? Like, 'cause he used to work with the Russians and stuff like that, and he's just like, hey, lost weight and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, like, one thing throughout all three films is kind of the camaraderie between, like, assassins is hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah, so Yosef's in the pool, and John Wick, like you said, tracks him down. And he has a moment, too, after, like, when he kills a couple guys, and he's, like, got a guy, and he's got, like, the gun on him, but he, like, doesn't shoot him because he's like, this isn't the right time or it'd be too easy kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to have this fight through a nightclub, which is great when, like, because Yosef's just in a towel and he's, like, running through, like, the dance floor and he's just like, get away, away. And everyone's just, like, dancing away. Which I thought was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it was really good. And then he, like, gunfights.
Yeah, he gunfights like a ton of people and in very close quarters, and like the section where he gets in, he's like behind the pillars and stuff like that. And again, he's using like, he quickly switches from different shooting styles to a close hand to hand, stuff like that. Super good choreography.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And like you were saying, the shooting doesn't have to be, it's like frenetic, but it's not like we can't see what's happening.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's like, I know you love the Bourne movies. Yeah. But I can't stand Bourne fight scenes.
The 2-3, the fight scenes in that get very... They go to shaky another level. Like, the first one, it was innovative and cool. Yeah. And then 2-3, it's just like, oh god, this is getting brutal.
Yeah. I like that you can see what happens in the John Wick movies. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to the best extent that they can, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, at the end of this one... Again, he murders like a ton of people. Yeah. And
I liked the fight scene. Like, anytime he's fighting and he's kind of using his car as a weapon, I like that a lot. I think it's really cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was a really good action sequence. Mm-hmm. Lots of fun, but intense. Like, because he's not, indestructible. He's taking hits. And...
Oh, yeah. That is one cool thing about the movies. He gets hurt a lot. Yeah. Like, in all three of them.
Yes. Especially in 2 and 3. Yeah. Like, this one he gets hurt a few times for sure, but not too bad. But, yeah, he's taking hits and he's getting shot, and then he gets thrown off the railing of the balcony onto the floor.
He limps and he's like, blood on him. It's cool.
Cool. And then that leads to the hotel room where Ms. Perkins attacks him.
Yeah, so, like, one thing that I think is kind of cool about these John Wick movies, and we'll get more into it in the sequels.
Sequels for sure.
Is that they have, like, really interesting female characters that you don't really get in those kind of action movies. Right. And a lot of them are, like, they're proficient at fighting, but they're also, like, not really, like, this... Like, they're all beautiful, too, right? But they're not, like, the standard beautiful woman that you would see in... Like, they're not, like... They're, like, interesting looking. Like, especially the auditor in the third one with her, like... buzzed haircut and stuff and kind of, like, masculine-style clothing. Like, it's just, like... It's interesting that, like... And she's still gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. It's not, like, a...
No.
beast or anything. But it's, like... It's cool that they give, like, their... female characters kind of more alternative looks, and they're competent at what they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which you don't usually get. Like when you like compare this to like Triple X, for example. I don't know why you would. But if you wanted to, like, there's a huge difference. Mm-hmm. They're like people. That's what it is. They're treated like people.
Fair enough. I mean, and that's a good thing.
It is a good thing, but it doesn't always happen in action movies, right? Like, they're not like...
There's not enough space or time for those kind of people sometimes.
Well, they're not
or not those kind of characters.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, the women in the movies aren't, like, trophy or, like, person to sleep with or, like, I don't know, plot point.
Yeah.
You know, they're actually just people
they're just doing their thing.
People that are characters.
Yeah, they're doing their thing.
Yeah. Not to like get too feminist.
No, because the fight scene, because Adriana Palicki is, of course, famously, she's been in a few pilots of shows. She was in the Wonder Woman one that didn't get picked up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was in like the Aquaman one they did way back when Smallville was big.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Up. Yeah, and I think she's on the Orville now. But she was really good.
Yeah,
and she did everything.
Oh yeah,
she did it awesome. All, which was really cool. And because again, Keanu Reeves tries his best as well, and she famously, she apparently did that whole fight sequence because it's pretty brutal.
Yeah,
and pretty intense. Like they get
super brutal.
They're pretty close to quarters.
It reminded me a bit of the stair fight scene in Atomic Blonde.
Oh yeah,
have you seen that yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Atomic Blonde.
Oh my god, Atomic Blonde was so good.
Yeah,
such a good soundtrack. It's all 80s new wave.
Yeah. Takes place in the Cold War.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she basically, Vigo puts out a contract on John Wick. He's like $6 million, I think it is. Maybe, or no, is it $2 million?
I don't know.
It's like $2 million.
Everybody's charged has millions of dollars apparently to
contract out on Mr. Wick, but he's staying at the Continental, which is like Highlander style. It's consecrated ground. You can't fight there.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna break the rules
and get that money.
So she tries to kill him.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't kill her. He just like manages to subdue her and essentially get some information out of her.
Yeah.
And then that's like but they have Keanu Reeves. He's initially got a sling on because he just saw the doctor and he's got like stitches.
He's got stitches that get pulled. Yeah.
So she messes him up pretty good again, right?
Yeah.
And so he just captures her and gets some information out of her. But it's a cool fight.
Oh, totally.
And it's one of those things where it just kind of like, you think it's going to end, but then they both kind of like, some twists about it. And then the fight keeps going. And you're like, oh my God. So I really liked it. And I thought she did a great job.
I agree.
Which then leads to the information he gets from her. Goes to the church and then burns all this information and everything. Mm-hmm. And then that leads to the shootout.
Yeah.
In the church parking lot. Where he's got that AR and, he's fighting all those guys. And again, it just goes, competent. He's good at what he's doing.
Yep.
And he's just solid in his skills, right?
Totally.
But I wanted to bring it up at some point.
Okay.
But we have fired firearms before.
Yes.
You and I
don't like it.
You didn't like it as much. I enjoyed it. But they're very loud.
Very, very loud.
And the entire depiction of firearms in Hollywood, of course, is usually wrong. But in this movie especially, I'm like, guns are way louder than this.
Well, okay, let's assume that because he's an assassin, he had earplugs on.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying ambient noise around anywhere.
Good point.
It would be, even when he was in the nightclub and he's shooting people downstairs, you would hear that upstairs.
Didn't he have a silencer or something?
No, I don't think so. Not in that one.
Oh.
Because they're just so loud.
Movie magic, Dan.
I know, and that's something I'm going to bring up later. Anyway, let's continue on here, because otherwise we'll be talking for a lot. Mm-hmm. So he gets into a shootout with Vigo's guards and etc. They hit him with a car.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, which is totally unexpected, essentially.
I like when cars are weapons. I don't like chase scenes, but if you want to hit someone with a car, run them over several times.
Devin approved.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he gets captured, and they're going to kill him. But Willem Dafoe, as we learn, is actually on John Wick's side.
Yeah.
Because we think that he gets hired
to kill him, but instead he double crosses the double cross.
Yeah. And then so Keanu breaks out, gets the information from Vigo, because he's got a shotgun trained on him. He's just like, where's your son? Gets the info, goes and kills those guys. It's pretty incidental.
Yeah.
And Vigo's like, someone screwed up, tortures Marcus, and then Keanu chases him down for the final action sequence.
Yeah, which is great because it has more car fighting.
It has more car fighting. A lot more in that one because there's like the 2 SUVs and then he's got like a newer Mustang or whatever.
Yeah. Like, pew, 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 pew.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang.
And it's so weird in that scene when the chase is going on and like that lawyer guy is kind of all like the consigliere or whatever, kind of just freaking out, and Vigo's like laughing the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, is he high? Is he drunk? Or he's just like...
He's drunk.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, I know this is how this is going to go down.
Yeah.
Because even when the guy's like, give me a gun, and he's like, yeah. Just like joking with him.
Yeah.
Fair. But yeah, like you were saying, there's some chasing, some gun or some car battles.
Pew, 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 pew. Maybe I just want to watch monster trucks or something.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a thing where they would fight cars? Yeah, like in the 90s, there'd be like 2 cars in a ring. People would watch it and they just crash.
Like a demolition derby?
Yeah! I want to go to that.
Right. Fair enough. So John Wick fights Vigo at the end, hand to hand.
Yeah. And he wins. But he looks like he didn't win. But it's okay because he goes to a veterinarian.
Yeah.
And steals a new dog.
Steals a new dog. As well as staples
What if the dog
wounds.
was just sick and it belonged to a family?
No, I think it was more like an animal shelter kind of
Okay.
situation. Because there was like a tag. I'm sure he read it or whatever.
Little Jimmy's puppy.
Little Jimmy's puppy.
Stole it.
Well, it wasn't a puppy.
Jimmy's gonna grow up to kill John Wick.
Yeah. And yeah, the movie kind of ends. Yeah.
Yeah, he walks away with a dog.
Yeah.
And it could have been a standalone.
Very much. And I assumed it was.
Yeah.
Until because it did quite well. Like I said, about 4 times it took in box office numbers, and it got good word of mouth. It got on streaming services, maybe DVD sales and stuff like that. So they decided to make a sequel.
Yes.
Chapter 2.
John Wick 2.
Which came out, I didn't mark it down here, 2017?
Yeah.
I think something like that, 2 years ago.
So, can I tell you my favorite part of John Wick 2 and
Sure.
3? I love the weird telephone ladies.
Yeah, I assumed you did.
How they all, like, are tattooed up.
They're all tattooed up, yeah.
But they're wearing this, like, pink blouse and gray pencil skirt.
Yeah.
And then they all have I totally want to cosplay as that.
You totally should. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone would recognize it.
I'm sure some people would.
Yeah. It'd be great if I could, like, walk around with one of those, like, wire boards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could be plugging calls in.
I was going to say the old Commodore 64s that they're using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought that was so great.
Yeah.
It was such a cool... So this is what I like about 2 and 3. They create like a bonkers world that doesn't really exist in 1. Like it does, but you're on the fringes of it.
Yes.
So they create this bonkers world, and a lot of it is very cool to look at.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite part of the... Well, and aside from the fight scenes, that was my favorite part of 2 and 3.
Right. Yeah.
I don't understand it at all.
Sure.
I get very confused and like bogged down in the details of what's going on and why they have like blood thumbprints and etc. But
I'm okay with I got most of it, but then there is some breaking downs to me. But
where's the table and who's the head of the table? Why is he in the desert?
Why
does he only come to you when you're dying? And how does he know where you are if you're walking around in the desert?
Well,
that's in 3.
He's the head of the Assassin's League, so
But he's in the desert.
They got GPS and satellite.
Yeah,
he knows what's up.
Okay, I guess we should get into the plot of...
Well, and so the second one, they got an increase of budget. It was to $40 million.
Believe it.
Double the budget. It made $171.5 million in the box office.
Good for them.
So again, solid.
Still chugging along.
Yeah, still solid numbers. So the new guy in this one, we got Riccardo Scaramorio. He's Santino. Mm-hmm. And then Ruby Rossi. Ruby Rose. I wrote it down wrong.
She's
My
from...
notes. She's Aries. Sorry.
She's in Orange is the New Black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when she was in Orange is the New Black, the meme going around was like, I'm straight. And then it was like a picture of her. That would be like, not anymore. I don't know, something like that.
Right.
Anyways, a bunch of straight girls really liked her.
Right. And then you got Common.
She's fair, she's hot.
Common is Cassian in this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got everybody returns, and Lawrence Fishburne is added in as the Bowery King.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want me to try to
condense
the plot?
Well, yeah, what do you want to say here?
Okay.
I got more notes, of course, as well here on some stuff.
So let me try to get this story right.
Okay.
Because I get confused always.
Right.
So, John Wick is still alive.
Yeah, he survives the events.
He gets approached by Santino, who is a member of... No, he's not. He's not at the table, but
not at the high table.
But his family has high table dealings.
Yeah, his sister is.
No, because his dad died and his sister took his dad's place at the high table.
Yeah.
And Santino had assumed that he was going to take his place.
Right.
So Santino has a little round thing with blood fingerprints that means that John Wick owes him a life debt that he cannot refuse, or he will be eaten by sharks or something.
Basically.
Because Santino made it possible for John Wick to get out of the business and marry his wife that died.
Yeah, it's, in the first one they talk about, like, John did something, assumed, like, murdered everybody so we could, be in good position. John apparently got help from Santino to do this.
Yeah.
So he owes him a favor.
Owes him a favor.
Yeah.
So Santino tries to call in the favor, and he wants John to kill his sister so that he can take her place at the high table.
Correct.
John says no.
Yeah.
So he burns down his house.
Yeah.
So then John says, cool.
Shrugs it off, yeah. No.
It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he goes to kill his sister. His sister...
Well, initially he wanted to go kill Santino, but Ian McShane, Wednesday, talked him out of it.
Right.
He's like, just do the task, John, because you owe him.
Yeah.
That's going to be a bad deal if you renege.
Right. So Santino's sister lives at an underground rave.
She's in Rome.
She's in Rome.
Yeah.
And she lives underneath the rave.
I assume it was just like somewhere she was visiting or, it's like a hotel for her.
Staying in an Airbnb that's located underneath the rave.
Yeah.
So he goes down there and he sneaks in and sets some stuff up for later.
Yeah.
And she is naked near a big pool. And she realizes that he's there to kill her. And she's like, fuck you, I'll take my own life.
Yeah.
Because I get to decide.
Yeah.
So then he shoots her anyways, doesn't he?
Which was a cool kind of, I was like, I did not see that coming. I thought she was going to try to fight him or something. She's like, no, I'm going to die. And she's like, I'm killing myself then, screw you.
Yeah.
And then, he does shoot her just to, make sure and prove that he was there to do it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was cool. I thought she was a cool character.
Yeah.
And then she died. Then on the way out, he has to fight his way out.
Yeah, we'll get to the action scenes.
Fights through a rave.
Yeah.
So then when he's done, he's like, hey, dude, I did the thing.
Yeah.
And dude's like, oh, yeah, sorry. I can't let you just kill my sister. That's bad, dude.
Yeah.
So he sets it up so that everybody in the whole world who's an assassin is now got a...
He puts out a $7 million contract on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and the girls at the telephone area get to set it up.
Yeah.
Great scene. And then so everybody's trying to kill him. Mm-hmm. And then he goes to the Continental where Santino is.
No, that's near the end.
Oh, what does he do? He almost kills Santino at a party.
Yeah. And then he does.
Yeah, no, he's at a party thing. And then he kills Ruby Rose, who speaks with sign language.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool.
Yeah. She was like mute or something.
Yeah, you don't get that especially in action movies, right? Like the only time you have like a character that signs is like when it's a Oscar bait movie about a single mom. So it was cool that they're just like, oh yeah, she signs. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's some sort of like, I likened it to like D&D, like Thieves' Cant, or it's some kind of like mix of quasi-militaries. Because she's not signing words, but it's just like they understand what she's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she signs words when she's almost dead, kind of.
No, but it's just like she uses like a couple gestures.
Yeah,
and it's like
that's what signing is like, Dan.
No, I know that there's more to sign language than what she was even doing.
Okay,
that's my point.
But regardless, she signs, and that's cool because it's not it's diversity in movies,
just,
and they don't make a big deal about it, like
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Right.
So then Santino runs away from the party.
Yeah.
And hides in the Continental. He's like, I'm gonna eat at steak dinner because you can't touch me.
Basically.
And so John Wick just shoots him in the face.
Yeah.
And then Ian McShay, Wednesday, is like, that was very bad of you, giving you 1 hour to run away.
Yeah.
Was that at the park?
Yes.
Yeah, and all the people there were gun people.
Or at least employees of Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's how it ends.
And that's how it ends, yeah.
And I think he gives the dog to the concierge to take care of at some point.
At one point, yeah, and then he gets the dog back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an important storyline, is this
Very
the
important.
friendship between the concierge
And the dog. Yeah.
The dog's name Winston?
No, the dog's name is Winston's Ian McShane's character.
Oh.
I just called him Wednesday because then we would know who we were talking about.
Yeah, that's fair.
And he's the same character.
Is the dog's name Dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I like Winston for the dog.
Yeah. So this one, again, you could tell Keanu Reeves doing like a ton of his own stunting.
Mm-hmm.
And this one had a lot more hand-to-hand combat compared to John Wick 1.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there was way more hand-to-hand combat. And this one had a lot of world-building elements, which was
cool.
Which was very cool and made the sequel, that's what you got to do. You got to kind of build on what we know. And they did do that. The only thing I was really kind of annoyed at... Oh, sorry. You were going to say?
I was going to say, I guess they could have just killed his new dog.
No, but then that would have been too obvious.
The exact same thing.
Yeah, that would have been too obvious. No, I was gonna say the only thing I was kind of annoyed at was when they were doing like when he goes to Rome and then he's like, okay, I got to get the new suit with the armor built in. The scene with the sommelier gun guy. I was like, this is annoying and pretentious. Just don't talk about guns in wine terminology here.
Agreed.
Yeah, but the world building was pretty cool, and I think, like you were saying, the motivation was a little weaker, but it was enough to be like, okay, he's got to go do something.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like it was like he was like, I don't want to do this thing. Fine, I'll go kill this lady, get away, and it was if Santino had just not tried to kill John Wick.
Yeah, everyone would have been fine.
It would have been fine. He would have just gone on with his life, gotten his dog back.
Yeah.
And then left. And then he's like, no, I gotta kill you for killing my sister. And it's like, are you stupid? Like, do you realize the point of all of this? It's like, you got him to do it because he's an unstoppable killing machine.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna try to kill him. Yeah. What do you think's gonna happen? Right? So I was kind of like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, you should have just left him alone.
Yeah, you could have just left him alone.
Or you could have hired anyone to kill his sister.
Well, or just waited 5 years and then hired someone to kill his sister or kill him, and then you wouldn't have known, kind of thing,
Good
right?
point.
Don't do it right away. But other than that, I got the list of action sequences we can go through because again, they were really good.
We should go through them faster though, because we're creeping up on some time.
Oh, did we have time limits?
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
But I mean, we don't usually put out 3-hour podcasts.
Well, we should. So
all right.
The film opens with the warehouse action sequence where you said that the car is used as a weapon a lot.
Yes.
Right? Where he's getting his car back from Viggo's brother or whatever.
Oh, I thought that happened in the first one. I got all confused.
No, yeah, that was the start of this one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great. I like when they use the car as a weapon. I don't like when they use horses as weapons.
Yeah, that's in the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really stupid.
Yes. Quite.
You didn't even ride a horse. Just use them to kick people. Okay, continue.
The next big action sequence was the catacombs.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And again, despite the narrow confines of it, was well shot. You could see what was going on.
Yeah.
He had previously set up the AR and the shotgun for himself because he was like, I might have to do a retreating gun battle.
Yeah.
Which he eventually did.
Because he knew.
Yeah,
he was a good assassin.
Yeah. Well, and he saw Ruby in the Continental in Rome, right?
Yes.
He knew she was there, and he was like, she's obviously either here to kill me or make sure I'm just doing the job or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
I assumed she was just there to make sure he was doing the job.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. But so he was suspected betrayal right away.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was really good stuff. And again, that was an action sequence that seemed to just go on really long, but was still really enjoyable and intense the whole time. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was like
totally.
he's doing his gunplay with his pistols, and then it's like onto the AR, and it's like, oh shit, and then it's like onto the shotgun, right? Like, so good stuff there. Then he fights Common in the Rome streets, because Common was basically like the sister's bodyguard, and he's like, you killed my lady.
Oh yeah, because they were more than just bodyguards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he says, you killed my ward, which I was like, okay.
Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have a martial arts fight that somehow they break into the Continental near the end of it. Yeah. Which was kind of odd to me.
Yeah.
And then after that, like you were saying, because there's the contract out on him, we just get like a montage of him getting attacked when he gets back to New York.
Yes, which was cool.
Yeah.
I liked any time, like, you know, he'd be doing something and then somebody would attack him.
Well, because it starts almost like, you know, he's just chilling, I'm back in New York, and then it's just like, I don't remember who attacks him first, but we, as the audience, see, like, people getting the phone messages, and they're like, oh yeah.
Isn't it the violinist that attacks him first?
I was going to say, I think it's the violinist. But I think it's because it's shown non-linearly.
Yeah.
Because it's like she was in a subway, but somebody attacks him in the airport.
Yeah, and so then like the big guy attacks him
outside,
in the park or something. Yeah.
And then kills a couple guys with a pencil.
Yeah.
Which gets mentioned a couple times.
Yeah.
And then that ends and culminates with him fighting Common again.
Yeah.
Which was, again, they're shooting at each other with silenced pistols from different levels of the subway, and I'm like, I'm not down with that. with that.
I did like the network of homeless people though. Yes,
which is we had introduced that immediately after.
Yeah, because he like is super sore and he or super hurt. Yeah. He goes up to like a homeless dude and he's like, help me. Gives him a gold thing, and then the guy just puts a blanket over him, and like everyone walks past. Yeah. It was good.
Yeah, which then leads us to Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes.
Gets introduced as the Bowery King.
Pigeons.
he's got his carrier pigeons.
Yeah.
So it's like, he's like info broker guy, I guess, and using his pigeons.
Using his pigeons.
Yeah. And his homeless people, or quote unquote homeless people.
Yeah.
Because, it's people getting changed, I assume, and stuff like that.
Because he's the king of the hobos.
Yeah. To collect information and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
gives him a gun with 7 bullets.
Yeah, basically John Wick's like, dude, give me a gun or we can go to war, even though I'm surrounded by a bunch of guys, but everyone's all like, well, I better not mess with John Wick.
Yeah, they're smart.
Unlike Santino.
Yeah, Santino's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Well, also Santino was trying to change the structure of everything, right? He was going to take over New York.
That it's posited, or his sister's like, he's going to take over New York.
Yeah.
Which is something that doesn't come up in the third one, which I was kind of like...
Because Santino dies.
Yeah, but it was... Anyway, he could have used an argument, potentially, about that.
Why would he justify his actions?
Yeah, that's true. But then that leads to the museum, like you were saying. It's where Santino's having like a little gathering about like, hey, I'm going to be at the high table. Too bad about my sister.
Yeah.
And then John Wick shows up.
Yeah. And it's cool because it's like a weird modern art exhibit, so there's lots of mirrors and shit.
Well, that's what I was going to get to. That's the last action sequence. Yeah. But I just thought it was funny because he's only got 7 bullets. And then they kind of do this shot where he's like facing Santino and everyone kind of backs away. And then he just starts, he just uses those 7 bullets in like a second on like bodyguards and stuff like that.
I guess he knew he could pick up a gun.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So he's running and gunning and picking up guns as he goes. Yeah. And so he runs out of ammo a lot.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. And then they end up in the Reflection of the Soul, it's called. Yeah. Which is an homage, of course, to Enter the Dragon. Where Bruce Lee fights the bad guy at the end in that.
Cool.
Because it's all mirrored and etc. And he's trying to track down the bad guy. Bad guy's got some backup with Ruby Rose and some bodyguards.
Yeah, and he kills Ruby Rose, and then she's like, "Be seeing ya," and he's like, "No, you won't."
Yeah. But I don't know. That scene was cool, but it was also because he runs out of bullets again a few times in that scene, and then there was the one where he jumps out of the glass from behind a guard. And I was like, how did he know he was there?
Because movie.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. And then, like you said, he tracks down Santino. And I actually had a problem with this ending, because I was like, John Wick knows the rules. He's been doing this for a long time. He's the man. Uh-huh. And he just shoots Santino in the face. And I was like, I don't really buy that, because it's like he wants to, like, he knows his life is gonna be forfeit after that, right? So I'm like,
I don't think he cares at that point.
yeah.
He doesn't have a wife. He doesn't have a dog. Well, he has a new dog.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't want to deal with anything.
I guess.
Seems like.
Yeah, it just seemed out of character to me.
It would, if he had found out that, like, his wife had died because of Santino, that would have made more sense that he would kill him in the Continental, because it would just be blind rage.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and like I was saying, I'll get to it after the third one. I don't know. Second one.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
Twas entertaining. I watched it on an airplane.
Yeah, very nice. I think, yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I just had a problem at the end. I was like, But I knew there was a third movie. So,
yeah.
So I was like, all right.
That makes sense.
What's the follow-up here?
All right. Do you want me to summarize the plot of movie 3?
Sure, if you want, yeah.
Okay.
Parabellum, 2019.
How does it start?
It's him just running in the street. And then it's like counts down to when he's excommunicado.
Right.
Yeah.
So he finds out he's excommunicado.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I remember the beginning of this movie? I honestly am having a hard time of anything before when he goes to see Angelica Houston.
Well, that's basically the whole montage sequence before that, is that he's running through the streets. He goes to the library to get something.
Oh, right. Because he has a picture of his wife in a book.
A picture of his wife in his book.
And then someone tries to kill him.
And a rosary and a marker. So
yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. So like someone owes him a favor.
Yeah.
And then, someone tries to kill him.
Yeah. And then he makes it to...
Goes to the doctor real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Goes to the doctor... Tells the doctor he has like 30 seconds
left.
left.
Like he's like, I got 5 minutes, man.
Yeah. Just do it.
Just do it, yeah.
And then the doctor stops mid-stitch.
Yeah, mid-stitch.
And then he asks John to like shoot him twice to make sure it looks like he was
coerced.
Yeah. That was good. That was really good. I liked that. And I liked how he's like, shooting me right here. Yeah. Make sure not to get any organs. And he's just like, bam.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and here. And he's like, bam. Yeah. Then he leaves.
And he just leaves. Yeah. And then there's a couple more action sequences, and then he gets to Angelica Houston.
Yeah, so he goes to Angelica Houston, who's this crazy old lady that has a ballerina troupe in like the Ukraine.
Yeah.
I think it's the Ukraine.
Something like that.
Yeah. And he goes to her, and like they walk through her house thing, and she's like training ballerinas and boy wrestlers.
Yeah, and judokai and stuff like that. Yeah,
and it's kind of like you get the sense. Yeah, no, you find out that's where he grew up.
Yeah,
right?
He basically, this is the world he came from.
Yeah, and he asks her for a favor.
Yeah, he's like cross. He's like, I'm part of your family or something like that. You owe me at least one thing.
Yeah.
So.
What does he get from her, though? I don't remember.
Passage to Casablanca.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they brand him with the thing to prove that he used his cross once. And I was like, that seems unnecessary.
Yeah. But he's a badass. We need to look at his back.
Yeah, that's true. We do need to look at his back.
So he goes there, Calabasas.
Yeah.
And that's where he meets Halle Berry. Who runs a hotel.
She runs the Continental Casablanca,
And she has 2 puppies. Mm-hmm. And he has a marker for her, and he's like, you have to help me get in touch with your boss so that he can get a message to the table head because I need to talk to them. Mm-hmm. And she's like, no, I hate you. And he's like, no, you have to. And then we find out that she has a daughter that he's kept safe from everything.
Yeah, got her out. In some way, yeah.
So then she agrees to help him, and they go with the dogs. And they go up to the guy. The guy's a dick. And he tries to take one of Halle Berry's dogs. Yeah. So they have like an incredible fight scene. Yeah. Yeah. And the dogs fight.
Then the dogs fight, yeah.
It is really
Everyone
cool.
fights.
Halle Berry's really cool in it.
Yeah, she does a great job.
Meanwhile, while all this is happening, the auditor shows up at the Continental in New York to talk to Wednesday to say, hey, you let him die in here. That's really bad. And you have 7 days to get your shit together, or I will kill you.
Yeah.
Or I assume.
Yeah, she's just like, get your affairs in order. You got a week.
Yeah.
And so that's what I thought the plot was going to be, was that, like, because she goes to...
She also goes to Lawrence.
To Lawrence Fishburne, to the Bowery King, and to Wednesday. And so I thought the plot was going to be, like, they somehow contact John and then, like, give him help to be like, you got to take this person down. Or something like that, which is what the movie sort of becomes.
Yeah.
But like, it's not like, that's not how it works out. Because the adjudicator goes to Mark Dacascos, or Zero, or the chairman from Iron Chef America, and is like...
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
I thought he looked familiar and I couldn't figure out why.
There you go. And she's like, hey, I need you and your ninjas to, like, take vengeance on people. And he's like, I'm in.
I actually loved his character so much. He's so silly.
He does a great job, for sure. And she does a really great job, too. I'll get to her name afterwards. And continue.
Anyway, so, while this is happening, they go and they murder Angelica Houston. No, they make her cut her hands.
Yeah.
They murder a bunch of her kids or something.
Yeah.
And then they put a knife through her fingies.
Yeah. Which wouldn't kill her.
Wouldn't kill her.
You know,
so she's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's going to be in 4?
Maybe.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
I was hoping she was the boss of the table.
Yeah, I thought she was, like, at least... Yeah, I thought there was going to be some kind of other role there. Yeah.
Anyway, so back to John.
Mm-hmm. He's in the desert.
He learned from the asshole that the only way to get in touch with the head of the table is to walk until you're going to die, and then he might talk to you.
Yeah.
So Halle Berry leaves him in the desert with a bottle of spit.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
She gives her dogs most of the water, and then she takes up and spits it into it and gives it to him.
Yeah.
And so he walks in the desert till he passes out, and then the head of the table finds him and brings him to his glamping zone.
Yeah. Little tent setup.
Yeah. And is like, I'll take you back, but you have to kill Winston.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have to cut off your finger for some reason.
Yeah.
Which...
Prove your loyalty.
Which ends up giving the ring, his wedding ring, to that dude.
He does, yeah.
So he goes back to New York. The contract on him isn't lifted yet.
Yeah, this is what was kind of weird to me.
Because I guess the head of the table wants to make sure he's the dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because like he first gets there, and then someone's gonna try to kill him, but then Zero's crew, they kill them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, so they know that he's here to stop Wednesday, but then
his
crew,
fighting.
tries to kill John Wick.
Well, John Wick does kill one of his crew members pretty quickly.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seemed I was kind of like,
it was weird.
What's going on here? I thought like there'd be communication to adjudicator to be like, yeah, okay, let John through.
No.
So so he's got to fight his way there.
We get a motorcycle fight scene.
Yeah.
Using motorcycles as weapons.
Yeah.
And then he gets to the hotel, and he puts his hand on the stair because he's fighting Zero. Then they go in and they have a really ridiculous conversation where like Zero's basically like, I'm your biggest fan.
Basically, yeah.
And stuff happens. And then
stuff happens indeed.
When John decides to join Winston and fight the adjudicator.
Yeah.
With the concierge.
Yeah.
And so they do, and it's crazy, and there's like insane fight scenes with like these short dudes.
Right, yeah, when he fights those two dudes.
So we get a fight scene with John and Zero.
Yeah. And
it's intense. And he fights these two dudes and uses his belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, belt weapon.
I knew the belt weapon was coming eventually because, of course, way back in the start of the movie when he's going to go see Angelica Houston, they like made him take out his stuff and they're like, and the belt. And I was like, he's going to kill someone with a belt eventually.
I didn't catch that, but I was so happy when I did.
Yeah.
Also, I was like pretty aware of the product placement because it was like a cool glass floor and glass walls, but then they had stuff projected, and they had a very large projection of an expensive watch that it kept cutting to. I'm like, all right, John Wick, I get it. You gotta get paid. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
So they fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then is the gun battle after that?
No, the gun battle was before all that.
Oh, I forgot about it.
That's all right. You had mentioned that there was some intense fights.
I said stuff happens.
Yeah, stuff happens. And essentially, he goes to the roof to meet...
Oh, he goes to the roof and Winston shoots him to appease the adjudicator.
Yeah.
And then the homeless people save John Wick.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Winston knew the homeless people were going to save John? Was that part of the plan? Or was it a betrayal?
I don't think that. I think he figured John might live because he knew his suit was bulletproof.
Right.
And that when he fell off, that he could survive. Yeah. But he didn't be like, I'm going to shoot you onto like some sort of, glass thing that's going to break and then you're going to land on something soft. He landed on the street.
Yeah.
Which really looked like it hurt a lot. But I assumed that he was like, well, he's on his own. It just looks like I killed him. Cool.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I think he was just playing the odds there.
Yeah.
That he was just kind of like, if he lives, cool. If he dies, cool.
But isn't he worried that John Wick might come after him now? Or do you think he just would I think he thinks that John would understand that he had no choice but to shoot him.
Yeah, I think there would be a little, there would be an element maybe, or maybe you would hope that he was like, John would get it.
Yeah.
Once things settle down, he can come back into the fold.
Because John has the opportunity to kill Winston.
Yes.
And he doesn't take it.
That's correct. Yeah.
And instead he has to fight Zero and all that jazz.
Yeah. So yeah, I figured that was kind of his play, was that he was like...
it was ambiguous.
Yeah,
though.
It was like, John will live... Mostly, yes.
Yeah.
Because he shot him in in the suit and stuff like that, not just straight in the head.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it didn't feel like a vindictive, I want John dead killing.
That's right.
It felt more like an opportunistic,
yeah,
I need to keep my shit going as best I can in this crazy world.
Yeah, to me it seemed more like a show for the adjudicator. He's just like, oh, I'm shooting John Wick, look, I'm doing what I can.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so... I wasn't expecting him to fall off the roof onto the street. I thought he would fall and then fall onto a fire escape or something like that. And just be like, oh shit.
No, onto the street.
Yeah. I mean, he hits a fire escape on the way down. So that was kind of what I was expecting.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying, so this one again had a $75 million budget.
Ooh.
Which they really upped that again, and it made $326.7 million in the
That makes sense, because why wouldn't you want to watch the third one?
Well, of course, yeah. And...
got big names like Angelica Houston.
As you mentioned, and Halle Berry.
Halle Berry was great in it.
Mark Dacascos, and the adjudicator was Asia Kate Dillon was her name.
She was really cool.
Yeah, she was good.
She was a very interesting looking person.
Yeah, I was reading some stuff she was saying how she wasn't sure, how best to approach the character and stuff like that, but then the costume design she totally loved, and it was
yeah,
projected the character in a way.
Oh, that's cool.
Like you're saying, it gave her that power that she was just like, I'm the one making the decisions here, people.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of thing. So, I found that this movie had because the first two had occasionally where there'd be a CGI knife kind of situation, and this one had a ton of CGI knife situations to me.
I didn't notice.
Seemed like to me anyway. And then, like I was saying, the adjudicator's judgment seemed just convoluted.
Yeah.
And a little she's like, you helped him get away or whatever, and it's like, no, he didn't. He just John threatened him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
It was just kind of
he did give him an hour head start, I guess.
No, but with Winston, yeah. But I was also kind of she says that to the Bowery King. He's all you gave him a gun and blah blah blah. And he's like, yeah, a gun with 7 bullets. What do you think?
Yeah, what's he supposed to do with 7 bullets?
Yeah, he didn't give him a grenade launcher.
Yeah.
But the Winston thing was kind of weird because when Perkins broke the rules, she got to wander off.
Yeah.
And then eventually tracked her down and killed her the next day, and it wasn't a big deal. Ooh.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like,
I guess it was because it was a table dude.
I guess, but he wasn't even on the table.
But he was in the line.
Yeah, exactly. I did like how Mark Zero and his crew, when they were attacking people, there was just a swarm of them off screen and stuff like that. It was always just hilarious because they'd be fighting the one guy and then 3 others would just show up.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot. And then the glass set that they built for the end
was cool.
Was very cool. Apparently it cost $4 million to build that whole thing.
Shit.
Yeah. And they broke a ton of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the scene when the Zero and crew were like sneaking into the theater where Angelica Houston was.
Yeah.
And they're just like popping up out of nowhere and like...
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think that was one of the first times they did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that scene.
Same with when they were attacking the
Bowery.
Bowery, yeah.
Yeah.
When like the guy from on top of the locker that you don't see until he like goes down.
Yeah.
And then he's just back up there again.
Yeah, he's just like chilling out back there.
Yeah.
And then others come from it. You're like, he's just like, I'm cool. Did my job. And one negative for me, aside from, again, when we were joking about the loudness of firearms, is the armor that those guys were wearing in the shootout at the end. The table elites or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that was stupid.
That was a little much. It was just like they're getting shot and not even like twitching.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, it's just pinging off of them. And I'm like, look, I could buy the Kevlar suit thing because they're like, oh, it still hurts and you get hit and you fall over. But this was a little far.
It was like anime bad guy.
Yeah. It was a little far
SWAT
from
team.
me. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about some of the action sequences here real quick.
Dog action scene was the best.
We'll get to that one. Because there's the first one where he's getting chased, and then he ends up like at that upstairs above the chandelier shop, and it's like, is it like a museum of weapons or something? Because then there's like revolvers that he puts together, a .45 caliber one to shoot one bullet.
Yeah.
And then there's like axes and knives that him and the guys used.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was like, what is this place?
It's a weapons museum.
It's the only thing I could think of anyway.
Yeah, because there's all those knives, and then he like stabs the guy like. Yeah. He like throw 3 knives at him, but then he stabbed him like 28 times.
Yes, and he himself gets hit a couple times too, right? But I was like, this place is ridiculous.
Definitely a weapons museum.
Yeah, and then it went to the stables, which, like you were saying, was pretty ridiculous.
Stupid. There's this like all these horses, and he was like tapping them on the butt so they'd kick people.
Yeah.
And it like is brutal to watch because I've been kicked by a horse.
Yeah, horses are strong.
It hurts.
Yeah. But it's also like those guys are shooting and the horses don't just like scatter and run away.
No, because they're very well trained.
Very well trained, apparently. And then Buddy, when he's on the horse and then those 2 guys with the motorcycles chase him, and then the first guy's like trying to grab him or something. I was like, what was this guy's plan?
Grab the horse.
He's trying to grab John Wick.
Grab John Wick.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, because then John Wick just like turns and like shoots him or whatever, and I was like, that doesn't make it, what were you trying to do?
Listen, he was trying to pull John Wick off the horse.
I suppose so. But then the next big major action sequence was the one at the Mint with
the dogs.
With the dogs.
Which was really cool.
And Halle Berry, yeah.
Yeah.
And it just sort of starts like, because he's all like, no, we're not here to fight. It's going to be chill.
Yeah.
And then when he tries to take the dog and then he shoots the dog, and I was like, dude, what do you... She just said no to you, like, getting one of her dogs, and you're gonna just kill one?
Yeah, because he's mad.
Yeah.
Obviously. You kill the thing you're mad at.
Yeah. And
but the dog had a Kevlar vest. So
had a Kevlar vest, and she had stashed a firearm in it.
Yeah, so she shoots him.
She shoots him, and then everything goes bananas.
Yeah, there's, like, this really cool fight scene where they use dogs as weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really neat.
Yeah, and the dogs work really well with her, of course, and she's working with them. But then they're also like, it'll be John Wick in the foreground shooting at somebody, and then the dog will like attack someone in the background.
Yeah. And Halle Berry's great in that scene.
Yeah, she does an amazing job. I thought she was going to be throughout the rest of the movie.
I really wanted her to.
Yeah, I was like, him and her, they're a good team. They're just killing it. So, but unfortunately, she's only in the one scene.
Hopefully, she comes back for JW4.
Yeah, I would hope so as well, because she's like, I said, I was doing some reading. She trained with those dogs for a long time. She trained herself for a long time. Because she was saying that compared to other action movies she's done a few, but like she was saying this one, there's like super long takes, and so she was like, she had to be like physically in even better shape to just do that.
Do it, for sure.
And it's, you could tell, like, because her and Keanu Reeves, of course, are executing everything really, really well. Mm-hmm. Anything more you want to say about that?
It was a really cool fight scene.
It was really cool, yeah?
I liked it.
All right.
10 out of 10. Would
10
watch
out
it
of 10. Yeah. Which leads to the motorcycle chase, like you were saying. Mm-hmm. Which was almost like, I didn't expect it to become a motorcycle chase.
No, me neither.
Because he comes out and then he just like kills those 2 dudes, takes a motorbike, you're like, all right. But then all of a sudden there's like 8 bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Zero's got disposable men.
Apparently he's got a whole crew.
Yeah. That wasn't his name in it, was it?
It was. His name's Zero.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. It, like Ares, like Ruby Rose, they never say his name.
Right.
But it's credited as Zero.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so Keanu Reeves fighting these guys. It was weird because it was like they go on the bridge and then before that it's like there's like the big sign like bridge out or whatever and you think that's going to come into play, but it doesn't. They just turn around and then drive back.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like,
Not bad.
It seemed unnecessary.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I was like, all right. Or maybe that was just the reason why there was no one else on the road.
Oh, that makes sense. There you go.
I don't know.
We don't care about plot holes here.
Which then leads to the big hotel battle.
Yeah.
With the ridiculous SWAT teams.
Yeah. I did like that the concierge got to be cool.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I liked him as well in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was too bad, like, because you got a whole crew, and they all just get mowed down.
Yeah. It was also cool that, like, I know that the armor was stupid, but them figuring out that their guns weren't working against them was kind of interesting to watch.
Yeah, because they go back, and they're like, we need bigger guns, essentially.
Yeah.
Well, and, of course... before it starts, and Winston he's like to Keanu, he's like, what do you need or whatever, and he does the Matrix line where he's just like, guns. Lots of guns. And I was like, nice.
Also, I just like that Ian McShane is sitting in a vault while this is all going on.
I know, I was like, he's just sitting there and not helping. He's just got his minions.
Got his, like, brandy, and it's listening to some records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty cool and interesting locations again, and just it reminded me very much of like a sequence from actually I think it almost looks like the same place that the Jessica Jones finale almost was.
I was
in.
thinking it had a Jessica Jones feel too.
There was that, and it reminded me very much of Batman, the Arkham games.
Yeah.
Because in those games you end up in those kind of like areas and you're like Batmaning around, and at the start of the fight Keanu Reeves is like hidden behind a counter and it's just like, oh man, he's about to go off on these guys. Right? So yeah, really cool gunplay. You know, he's using the rifles, using pistols, using the shotguns again. Very good stuff there. Which leads to the glass lobby where he's fighting unnamed guys.
Yeah.
And he's just breaking all that stuff.
The two of them were really good together.
Until he fights those two, those two, they're... Are
they like famous?
Apparently they're really well known in like stunt fighting and stuff like that.
That's what I figured, or something, right?
Yeah, they're really well known with like this Indonesian fighting style, which is what they were using in the movie against Keanu Reeves there. And apparently, you know the scene where he falls down and then they both kind of like, he's got his hands and they both kind of like help him get up or whatever. Yeah. Apparently that was not
scripted?
Yeah, not scripted. He was supposed to get up but like slipped or whatever, and then it was just like, but they continued with the scene, and it totally they used it in the movie as a good comedic beat.
I like it. It was really good, yeah.
And even the same thing I think it was when they were both like stopped to be like, hey, he's a little slower than he used to be. Like that was all unscripted.
Nice.
And they used it all in the movie again. So cool. You know, again, good stuff. You could tell like you're saying, good relationship with Keanu Reeves, and that they were like, no, this is all working through the character. Keep it going. So he fights those two dudes, and he doesn't kill them. There's like a mutual respect, essentially, that he like kind of beats them both, and they're just like, be seeing you, and they both just pretend to be unconscious.
Yeah.
Because he fights them with the belt, like you said.
Yeah, which is great.
They have knives, and I think he has a knife initially, and then he gets disarmed.
It gets disarmed, so he uses his belt.
Go belt foo, which, if you want a good belt fighting sequence, is of course the Jet Li in Fist of Legend, that's a great belt fighting sequence.
That's the only scene I've seen of Fist of Legend.
Yeah.
It's a belt fight scene.
It's a great fight scene.
It's the best scene to watch.
Yeah. And then that leads to him fighting Zero at the end.
Yeah. Which Zero is so funny because he wants just so badly to be recognized as the same as John Wick. And John's just like not having it.
Yeah.
He really wants to be John's sidekick or something.
Yeah.
And John's like, no, fuck off.
No, I'm John. I'm Baba Yaga.
Yeah. Not even like I'm Baba Yaga. He's just like, I'm just doing it. I'm just doing my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically. Well, and they do some clever stuff in there where, you know, because there's glass walls that Ian McShane kind of sets up that, you know, you might not see, and so they use those once in a while. And even when he first sees them, he tries to shoot him. There's a glass wall.
Yeah,
so, you know, clever stuff in the fight sequence, and it makes it quite interesting.
Watch product placement.
watch, but I didn't apparently notice it, so, you know.
Oh, it's funny stuff that you notice that I don't, and stuff that I notice that you don't.
Clearly my subconscious is like, I need to watch.
I need to watch! Where's the Rolex?
Pretty much. They're right down the street from my work. And then, John defeats him, of course.
Yeah.
And that's essentially the end of the movie.
Yeah. So would you recommend any of them?
Of course.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're all really good. I think for me, I think the first one, of course, edges them out.
Yeah.
Just because it's like the original.
Yeah.
You know, there's a better almost character motivation in there.
That's true.
But 2 and 3 are very interesting and very fun, and
it's a cool world that they build.
And cool world that they're building with it all, right? So, and if you're a fan of that kind of like
Telephone Girl.
And the Telephone Girls, and an actiony, like, hidden assassin world, that a lot of action movies try to do.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's no way that would ever exist in the world, right? Like, people think that there's, like, these secret underground societies of assassins.
I just watched 3 movies about it, Devin.
It's so silly.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like, people get murdered all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But, like,
there's no secret society behind it.
There's no secret society. That's what I'm trying to say.
But yeah, it's cool to imagine, and just like the assassin's world, and Braun is saying that it's all built on like trust, essentially, that it's like, hey, it's not all money, it's like, favors and etc. So it's cool.
I liked it. It was really good.
Yeah, I just wanted to say briefly, I was talking a bit before we started recording, that I see a lot of parallels in John Wick's character and Gat's from Berserk.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the first 2 movies, because Gatsu, he's like fighting for no reason, just to like find a purpose in life, and then eventually when he finds a purpose in life, it's like too late that he realized that he was like, oh, I could have built a family here and everything, and it all gets snatched away. All right. Whereas in this, especially in the first movie, he's just kind of like, he's just fighting essentially for like almost no reason, right?
Yeah.
And especially in the second one too, he's just like, just continuing the fight that is just endless. And that's what I was saying at the end of the second movie, where he's just shooting the dude. And I was like, what the consequences are. And even at the end of the second movie, he says, he's like, anyone you send against me, I'm going to just kill him. He's just fighting for no reason, essentially, right? Like, it's like, does he want to die? Does he want to live? I don't know. And then in the third one, he's kind of like having that fight where he's just like, I want to just remember my wife.
Yeah.
But I have to continue to live by murdering people, right? Like.
Yeah, because that's where he's set up. I hope he gets a happy ending eventually.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, we can talk a bit about the future. I was unaware, and I think it was only more recently announced, because there was talk that they were going to do either a show.
Ooh.
But then there is a John Wick 4, which apparently is slated to come out in May 2021.
Ooh.
But then there also is a show coming out after that called The Continental, which is going to be about the John Wick world.
Ooh.
So, and I don't know, again, if it's going to continue Keanu Reeves' John Wick story.
Is that on, like, Netflix?
I'm not sure, because, interestingly enough, the writer of this, he wrote a bunch of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show coming out. And then so he's got slated Chapter 4, The Continental, and then apparently he's writing Just Cause and then The Hitman. They're trying The Hitman again, but in a series.
Interesting.
Which is essentially what John Wick is. So it's like, they're like, that guy's writing that assassin show and movies.
He knows what he's doing.
We'll give him another assassin show series. So
I would watch a show called... I'd watch The Continental.
Yeah, I'm very much interested as well.
Even if Keanu isn't in it.
Yeah, and again, I think it'll be more about the others assassins or other worlds or something. So I haven't really looked into it. And even...
I hope they make those Telephone Girls characters.
Oh, they have to.
Yeah. Right. I hope they're assassins too.
I don't think they are.
No. Where are they? They're just like in a library.
Yeah, they're just in some kind of library building.
I just want to be them.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, that's kind of some of the upcoming stuff, because they initially apparently was only going to be like a trilogy was their idea.
Yeah.
But then I guess maybe, because the ending very much leaves it open to a sequel.
Yeah.
That maybe, late in production they're like, hey, this is probably going to happen. So yeah. So they added that ending with Lawrence Fishburne still being alive and being like, hey, kind of pissed off. Let's get some revenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into the fourth movie.
So yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Maybe John Wick 4 and The Matrix 4 will be one movie.
And he's Techno Jesus and John Wick.
Techno Jesus, John Wick.
Turned out we were the Matrix the whole time. Yeah. I think they're separate. That's just one's in the future.
Fine.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's
they're making a Bill and Ted 3 comes out this year too.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Nice.
All Keanu Reeves all the time.
Oh, good for Keanu Reeves because he kind of had like not a downswing, but he had some personal stuff with his life and stuff like that. So and kind of went out of the limelight a little bit, and he's back up making some interesting movies and doing a ton of his own stunts, right? So
yeah, I mean for 54 or something.
He's definitely
doing well.
He's doing well.
Yeah,
killing it.
Cool.
Well, and initially they wanted it was almost kind of like the John Wick character was originally when he first was writing it going to be even older.
Oh, really?
It was going to be almost like a 60-something-year-old man was their original idea.
Interesting. I don't think I could see it doing as well with anybody except Keanu Reeves.
Well, and then they lowered the age, and then they got Keanu in there, and yeah, he's done really well.
Oh, maybe Josh Brolin.
Mm-hmm.
Thanos.
Yeah.
He's in his 60s, isn't he?
Yeah, but I don't know. He's really grizzled comparatively to Keanu.
Yeah, which is fine for an old assassin.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, and he did Oldboy, right?
Running around doing that. Around snapping.
And of course he was in Deadpool 2, right? So.
Oh, yeah.
He was really good as Cable.
He was, yeah.
So. Anyway,
Let's wrap it up.
Sure, I think I've said way too much as usual.
Yeah, me too. If you want to follow us, you can. We're on all social media. Tome of Uselessness. Just look for it. You'll find it. We have a website, tomeofuselessness.com. We have a Gmail. tomeofuselessness@gmail.com.
Super easy.
Yeah. And we're not giving you our phone numbers.
Definitely not.
Just dance. Ready? Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you in a week or two.
Yeah, see you next time. Thanks for listening.
Bye.